You know, not every game has to be a knockdown, drag-out fight to be the king of worker placement, economic engines, prestige points, or little wooden cubes. Sometimes you want to hold hands and skip in a circle, working together for the common good.
Time T+1. Threat. Zone blue.
Aw, crap. Who's on cannon duty? Players are crew members on board a Sitting Duck-class starship, whose job it is to warp into a strange sector of space, scan the area for 10 minutes, and then get home safely. The ship is divided up into 6 sections, and each section has 3 different buttons. The A button always fires a weapon, the B button charges shields and manipulates reactors, and the C button does something unique at each of the 6 stations. Shields and the big guns require energy from their attached reactors, the side reactors get their energy from the main reactor, and the main reactor gets fuel from the limited amount of fuel rods. There are also rockets you can launch, fembots you can deploy, fighters you can zip around in, and a really impatient screensaver you need to deal with. If you're a hotshot, you can also try to score extra points by looking out the window. During the mission, a computerized voice will start lobbing threats at you based on one of the missions you've selected from the accompanying CD. The problem is that everything in space hates you. Wait, did I say CD? Yeah, I did. As soon as you press play, you're up to your ears in space jerks. The computer throws them at you relentlessly. Players handle these threats by playing cards from their hands onto the 12 action spaces on their action boards. To make things even more hectic, the mission is divided into 3 phases. In each phase, you get to add more cards to your hand, but once you've crossed that line, there's no going back to rearrange your actions for earlier phases. You're committed. Threats are drawn from multiple decks depending on whether they're common or serious, internal or external. These threats advance their speed value towards the bottom of the trajectory path they're on, and every threat has a thing they do when they reach a certain point on that path. They do their most damage if their marker makes it all the way down. External threats need to be shot down with cannons, and internal threats need to be killed with fembots or fixed by pressing the right button at the affected station. There's tons of stuff to do on this ship, and everyone has to work together to make sure that buttons get pressed in the right order and that people aren't tripping over each other. You aren't allowed to show each other your cards, but you can certainly tell other people about the cards you have. Oh, yeah, except for the part where
Communication system down. Communications restored.
that always sucks. Once the 10 minutes are up, everyone walks through the different steps, resolving damage to the threats, to the ship, and to the players. The ship gets weaker as it takes damage, which can cause a chain reaction and spell doom for everyone. There's a point scoring system in place if you want to shoot for a high score, but consider yourself lucky if you come out alive. I don't like cooperative games. There's always someone who can't decide what to do, or they know exactly what everyone else should do. If I'm going to play a cooperative game, there has to be a twist. Shadows over Camelot is one of those games. Battlestar Galactica is a better one. But Space Alert may be the most fun cooperative game I've ever played. If you have that person who won't stop ordering other people around, make them the captain. If you have someone who just wants to do whatever helps anybody else, put them on screensaver duty. There's a role for almost every personality in this game. Not only that, but it's pretty scalable too. The rulebook does a really good job of... Actually, I have to stop here for a second. The handbook that works you through all the game mechanics is hands down the easiest and most enjoyable rulebook I've ever seen. The rules are concise, the examples are clear, and the in-between flavor text is hilarious. Top-notch stuff all the way. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right, scalable. If you just want a taste, you can easily explain the basics to new players in 10 minutes. Once you get out of the basic cannon shield reactor dynamic though, you can do what we ended up doing and build up to the complete game over an hour. And then play for 5 more. Yes, it's that fun. I really can't recommend this game highly enough to anyone who has a mental image of crawling through Jeffries tubes to smack a reactor with a gravimetric spanner to get that one last bit of flubonium to the cannon so it can blast that giant space octopus. Seriously, super fun. Oh, and while I'm at it, there's this real man of genius who's taken the original mission audio tracks and stuck really cool music in the background. And it's awesome. Go here and download them if they're still there. And let the people at Check Games know how much awesomer the game is with them. Do it now!